At Christmas dinner, my brother smirked and said, "We voted. You're no longer part of the family." Everyone laughed. I simply nodded and stood up. Moments later, they realized what I had done, and chaos broke out. The first thing I noticed when I walked in that night was the silence. Not the calm kind, the suffocating kind. Like I'd already broken some rule just by showing up. Mom stirred gravy without looking up. Dad muttered a flat "hey" from behind his paper, eyes never leaving the print. No hug, no warmth, just acknowledgement. Like I was a stranger they weren't thrilled to host. And then there was Kyle, my brother, the golden child. His smirk met me at the doorway. The same smirk he wore when I got grounded for things he did, when my achievements were ignored, when he stole the spotlight every single time. I told myself to breathe, to get through dinner without taking the bait, but I should have known better. Dessert plates clinked, coffee steamed. For a few minutes, conversation flowed. Work gossip, holiday sales, who burned the turkey last year. I let myself believe maybe this year wouldn't end in humiliation. Then Kyle tapped his fork against his glass like he was about to make a toast. "Hey, Jason," he drawled. "We had a vote." I frowned. "A vote?" He leaned back in his chair, grinning like he'd been waiting all night for this. "Yeah, you weren't here last week, so we decided without you. Unanimous. You're no longer part of the family." The table erupted in laughter. Cousins chuckled nervously. Aunts smirked behind their wine glasses. Even my parents let out weak laughs, eyes sliding away from mine. My chest tightened. The sound of their laughter felt louder than it was, buzzing in my ears until I thought I might break. "Well," I whispered, nodding slowly. "That's nice." Kyle raised his glass higher. "Should have been here for the vote." My chair screeched against the floor as I stood. The sound cut through their laughter. "Jason," Mom started, her voice faltering, but I grabbed my coat. "You're not really leaving, are you?" Dad asked, his tone low, warning. I turned back once, steady now. "You voted. I'm just honoring it." The slam of the front door swallowed the silence behind me. The days that followed blurred. My phone lit up with half-hearted apologies, excuses about just a joke, and messages begging me not to overreact. I ignored them. What they didn't realize was simple. For years, I had been their safety net. I floated the mortgage, paid off Kyle's business loans, quietly covered medical bills, utilities, debts. They laughed me out of the family, but they were standing on a foundation I'd built. If they wanted me gone, I'd make sure they felt it. 2 weeks later, I invited them all to dinner. Mom, Dad, Kyle, the extended family. They arrived tense, confused, the table filled with clinking silverware and forced conversation. Kyle broke the silence first, raising his glass with a sneer. "To family," he said. I smiled faintly. "Why pretend?" The doorbell rang. Every head turned. I rose, crossed the room, and opened the door. My lawyer stepped inside, briefcase in hand. Gasps rippled across the table. "Good evening," he said smoothly, setting the briefcase on the table. He slid a thick envelope toward my mother. "On behalf of Jason, I'm here to notify you that effective immediately, all financial support is terminated. Accounts, debts, estate ties. It's over." My mother's hands trembled as she opened it. Dad's face drained of color. Kyle's smirk cracked into panic. "You can't do this," Kyle snapped, rising to his feet. I leaned forward, voice calm. "You voted me out. I'm just honoring it," my cousins whispered. One aunt covered her mouth. Even the extended family could see the shift. Kyle wasn't the one in control anymore. "This is ridiculous," Kyle hissed. "You need us. You'll come crawling back." I stepped closer, meeting his eyes. "If freedom is crawling, I'll crawl, but I'll never be your safety net again." He sputtered. "You think you're better than us?" "No," I said softly, my coat in hand. "Just done with you?" I nodded to the lawyer, turned toward the door, and left them gaping at the wreckage of their own vote. "Merry Christmas. Pay your own bills."